Hello, everybody. It's great to be here again with you after a while. I see a lot of familiar people in the audience. Hello, G Giant. Hello, Dr. Martine. Hi, Mystique. Hello, Photograph. Let's see who else is here. Uh, Tina is here. Vivek is here. Laura is here. And yeah, lots of people here. This is great. It's been a while, and I'm happy to join you guys again. Vitruveo for life. Hello, hello, hello. Uh, Robert Wood, hi. Pietro, hello. It's great to chat with you again. Um, I don't know, it's been probably a couple months since I came on here. And I'm glad to get you all caught up on all the developments in Vitruveo. So I think we got 150 people online already. That's great. So I think let's get started with all the news that is there. So we'll start with the news that I think that has already been floating around. I'll just get that out of the way. So we have a governance council called the Vitruveo Governance Council. It has now been disbanded. The council has a real world assets vision that it determined was best served using a chain with newer technology. I'm sure they will pursue this objective with focus and passion. I wish them well. I wish them Godspeed. I'm sure you have lots of questions. They might have a Discord, which is probably the best place for them. So that leaves me to the important business of leading Vitruveo, starting with a very, very, very information packed spotlight. So let's get going. Here we go. So today, what I want to do is spend a lot of time here presenting to you a vision for Vitruveo. It's been a while since we talked about it. It's been a while since we did a gut check about where we are in the ecosystem, what's going on, etc. And today I want to kind of hit refresh a little bit and take you on a small little journey. So let's go around it. One of the things that we have established in the past a couple of years is a good community of Vitruvians. We have established ourselves as a blockchain primarily of arts and entertainment, and we've got a few projects going, and we've not yet escaped gravity, I like to call it. And I'd like to chart a course here where we can escape gravity. So I'm excited about that. I'm very, very excited about some of the newer technologies that are present here today. And what I'd like to do is frame for Vitruveo to advance into that area. So I would like to bring us into the era of AI. So let's talk about that. I would like to think of Vitruveo as the AI enhanced blockchain for arts and entertainment. So we've been the blockchain for arts and entertainment. And what we'd like to do now is move AI front and center. Now, I know that the word AI is polarizing for artists, but you need to think about AI separately from the, the premise of generative art. That's a whole different area, but there's a whole area of AI which is very, very useful. Agentic AI that does tasks and things for us through LLMs. And that's the part I want you to focus on. So today I want to talk about Vitruveo's journey with AI. So let's go. And here we go. So our AI game plan is as follows. I have created a 5-point game plan. First of all, lead with AI to make Vitruveo more accessible. As a blockchain and in crypto, we continue, every blockchain still continues to have problems with adoption, users coming on board. Because, in fact, if you are a user of MetaMask, you might have observed that some of the recent changes made things harder. So these are things in crypto that I think we can address with AI. So lead with AI. Build AI rails that attract and empower developers. So we haven't had a good reason so far to attract developers because we are essentially the same EVM L1 as some of the others that already have significant traction. So what can we do that is unique and different? And that is to build AI rails. We want to also upgrade existing applications with AI driven capabilities. We want to create new AI enabled GameFi experiences, and we want to elevate the crypto user experience through AI innovation. So, this is our game plan, a 5 point game plan. Now, talk is easy, talk is cheap. Everything is about execution. So, let's see how we can move forward in this realm very rapidly and be very competitive and put Vitruveo in front. So I'm going to start off with the first point here: lead with AI to make Vitruveo more accessible. But first, a sip of chai. All right. I'm very pleased, folks, to launch today ai.vitruveo.net. Let's go to it. Here it is, our very own chat UI. At ai.vitruveo.net, it becomes the main way in which people can interact with the Vitruveo blockchain moving forward. Of course, you can go to the Explorer, etc. also, but Explorer is not very easy for a lot of people. Let's see how this works. I actually zoomed this browser in a little bit, so let me zoom out. Let's go with this one. Who owns Core Vibe Contract Token 41? Let's click on that. Of course, you can. I could have typed it also, but it was quicker for me to chat. So it responds, I'll help you find out who owns Core Vibe Contract Token 41. Now let me check. It figured it out. It says this NFT is part of the Vitruveo income building engine and appears to be a Vibe 100 tier token. I have no idea who that person is. If it's you, that's great. I just threw in that as an example. So you can use this. So let's see here. I have my MetaMask. I can get my address. I can go here and say, what is the balance of that? And there you go. And let's see if that's correct. There, 320. That's correct. So I'm very, very excited that we have this capability now. And this is the leading way. This is the way we are going to introduce the world and make it easier to access Vitruveo. So now this here makes it connected, but we still have are lacking one area, which is we don't have a website. So let's go there. And there we go. So we have a website that goes along with it. It's not a very grand website. It's a real basic website, something that I put together actually in an afternoon, but it gets the point across. And we have the ability now to communicate a lot of things about our platform, our ecosystem. I'll just go through some of these pages here. So we can see some of the featured projects that are here. And for developers here, it encourages them to try out Vitruveo. So there's a lot of information here. All right. Let's close that and get back to our deck. I hope you're as excited about ai.vitruveo.net as I am. It's really something very unique and very different. It's our own chat UI, and it makes it possible to do things that were heretofore not very easy or not very possible. So that's point number one. Let's go on to point number two. Build AI rails that attract and empower developers. Here, I'd like to introduce you to the Model Context Protocol. So, the Model Context Protocol is a mechanism by which AI agents can communicate with all kinds of platforms. So, whether if you want to have, for example, ChatGPT communicate with Google Docs, they would have an MCP server set up to do that. I'm very pleased to report that we have our MCP server. So, for that, let me stop here and I'll share another screen with you. And let's go. Give me a second. I gotta find the right window. I have too many windows open. There you go. I got it. All right. So what you're looking at here is Claude, which is a chat, just like a chat bot, just like a chat GPT, etc. I use it because it's better with code, etc. Now, what developers can do is they can go to the connector section here in the settings and add custom connector. They can give it a name, and they can type ai.vitruveo.net/MCP for Model Context Protocol. And that's added now. And we'll press Command N to start a new chat. And what shall we ask Claude? Let's say, tell me about Vitruveo core contracts. Boom. Let's see what it does. And it's saying it's getting core contracts. And here are Vitruveo core contracts. There we go, just like that. This is Claude, a third-party app that interacts with the Vitruveo blockchain. So you can do this with any AI agent that exists today because it is a protocol that's a standard protocol. Very, very excited about this because it leads developers to many new experiences. I want to show you a little bit here. Let's go back into settings. And we can go into configure here and show you how many different things are available right now. But we're going to add plenty more to it. You can get a balance. You can check your NFTs. So, for example, you will be able to say things like check, once you know the contract address, check what NFTs I own in this contract, and so on and so forth. You can get your token balances, of course. You can get transaction history, etc. So all of this is there and ready and working right now. Let me get back to. Oh, wait a minute. Did I not share that already? Oops. Okay. So let's do this again. Apparently, I didn't share my screen. So sorry about that. Let me try this again. Okay, so we'll go back to Claude and we'll do this all over again. Sorry about that. Here we go. So here's Claude. And I'm sorry I hadn't shared my screen. I just looked at the comments here. So here's where you add a custom connector. You add Vitruveo. I'll do this again. I'll speed through it since you've heard me talk through it. ai.vitruveo.net/MCP. And we hit add. And here it is. So now we can do tell me about Vitruveo core contracts. Let's do that. And here's Claude Thinking. It goes and gets our core contracts, and boom, voila. So this is a very powerful capability, as I just expressed earlier. Now let me show you how developers can get into more capabilities here. This is going to keep getting extended. There are a lot of capabilities possible here, and you can get information about NFTs. You can right now you can only do reads, but very soon we'll be able to do writes also. So you'll be able to do transactions where once you say send funds to this address, and it'll post a link and pop up your wallet. You sign it, and it'll take care of that. So that's an exciting capability that's coming up soon. All right. Now let me get back to my presentation. Thank you. Here we are. Okay, so that was about developers. So far in our AI game plan, we are already making good progress on two fronts. We are making Vitruveo more accessible with AI, and we've built the AI rails to attract and empower developers. This is very unique and very different, and makes Vitruveo so much more attractive to a much bigger audience. So let's go on to the third point. We'd like to upgrade existing applications with AI-driven capabilities. And what I'd like to demonstrate here is what we've done with AI in Xibit. And I'd like to thank Doc Martin, who is the architect and the brain behind this. So just a little bit of background before we get into it. What we want to do is we have a store of artworks that we have ethically sourced, that are licensed. And what we want to do is have AI basically ingest those and understand those using a technology from OpenAI called Flip. And then we do some more analysis with some technology called Face from Meta. And finally, we use the LLM from Anthropic in order to make it easily searchable. So what we've set up here is a small prototype with about 125 of Doc's photos. And obviously, we'll be able to do this at scale. We are able to do this with or without metadata. We have metadata, but the ability to use natural language to describe what you want and have artworks show up is really what this is about. So let's go into this demo. All right. So this is a sort of it's created here so you can play around with it. Remember, it's just a prototype. It's just a demo. This is not a finished product here. So show me peaceful scenes with purple color. You can because of the nature of this, keywords are not important. You can even search for things that are not at all in the metadata here. It's because it's the AI is intelligently processed the images. And here we go. So we got some purple images, purple hues. So there's a lot more you can do here. You can choose more results to show. You can even have the AI give you an understanding of why it did what it did. So let's see. I selected that, and it's going to go through. It's a bit slow because this is a prototype, but once we have it in production, we'll be able to do a lot more interesting thing. So let's look at this one here. Why this matched? Female 22 matches the search because it depicts the peaceful coastal scenery of Cornwall, featuring the tranquil natural setting of St. Ives Bay. The artwork prominently showcases vibrant purple hues, as mentioned in the description, fulfilling both the peaceful scenes and purple color criteria of the search query. So this is great. We also have, because of the analysis, the ability to create a curator summary. So it's able to analyze the artworks and give us an analysis of the capabilities of the artists here. So let's look at that. Like I said, it's prototype, so it's a little bit slow, but we should have it. Here we go. As a curator examining Dr. Martin's collection, I'm struck by the cohesive meditation on solitude and serenity that runs throughout these works. The artist consistently employs the Cornish coastline, particularly the Goderby and I'm sorry if I butchered that name, as a canvas for exploring themes of peaceful contemplation. So this is possible. This will be possible if you can see this is a huge unlock. What we want to do is do this for all our artworks and really all the world's artworks and make this possible. This has never been done before, and we are really, really excited to be able to do this at this huge, huge scale. So thank you, Doc, for doing that. And let's go on. So one of the things we want to address now is how the journey has been so far in terms of getting funding. So let's talk about fundraising. So far, uh, we've made essentially two fundraising attempts. The first attempt was with the Vitruveo focus. And the conclusion was there's essentially four problems. One was it's a commodity L1. And the biggest problem, which continues to plague us, is that the large number of unlocked tokens that exist. And when we were trying to raise capital, there was not significant traction. And we also did not have revenue source. So we got a lot of pushback from both angel and institutional investors. And that was attempt number one. With attempt number two, we focused on Xibit. And there we had two problems. One was the the business model seemed unclear to investors, so we had to do some work on that. And secondly, that it was not a clear revenue source. So we've done a lot of work on that. And now we have a clear business model, a clear revenue source, reasonable traction, product market fit, technology innovation, and a clear market problem that we are addressing. So now we are working with on fundraising for Xibit again. And what I'd like to do is present to you a few slides from the current pitch deck that help you understand the narrative and help you understand the positioning of how we are approaching investors in order to get capital for Xibit. So we are positioning Xibit as the world's art intelligence. We are building the AI infrastructure powering the $60 billion global art economy. That's Xibit. So the art industry has some fundamental problems. It's, as I mentioned, a $60 billion market, but it's running on Renaissance era infrastructure. Discovery is broken. Keyword search doesn't understand context, and artist income is unsustainable. You create once and maybe you sell once. That's an unsustainable model. The Xibit opportunity here is that AI has outpaced art's legal infrastructure. The models are all trained on scraped art, and recently, if you look at the lawsuits between Reddit and Perplexity, this gives people a pause. The models, because they're training on scraped art at scale. The artists have been excluded from the AI economy, and there is no verified consented art data at scale. So this is a huge opportunity for Xibit to pursue. So our solution is we want to be the AI powered discovery and provide recurring revenue for artists. So as you saw in the quick prototype demo we set up, we can create discovery here for semantically perfect matches with full provenance because we have metadata, we have licensing data. So you can do queries like blue themed ocean scenes by Turkish artists evoking nostalgia. and get those kind of results. For artist income, we want it where you create once, but you earn forever. And we want to do that in three ways: print on demand, streaming, and licensing. In particular, the licensing with AI makes your artwork available to a much wider audience. So what we've essentially built is the full stack for art intelligence infrastructure. We've built the blockchain, the platform. We've built the artist verification. We've got the data and the AI, the metadata, and now with Clip and Claude, the AI has been applied to it, and we also have discovery tools. So essentially, we are able to distribute this at a very large scale. So the tech is replicable, but the verified data and the quality of it isn't. So what we are doing is leading with two products with one data set, and our primary positioning as a business is a B2B SaaS with infinite distribution. So the first product is artistic. This is where the AI product, AI discovers art by emotion, theme, or mood. The target customers are agencies, brands, hospitality, galleries, etc. But it's essentially these customers currently go and use stock sites and do keyword searches. And we are going to unlock a much, much bigger and more interesting ways for them to get very select artworks that they need. The distribution is handled through Folio, which is our Amazon affiliate-like model, where anyone can curate and earn a mock-up for distributing sites. So you can acquire licenses and sell on behalf of exhibit artists. So the CAC, the customer acquisition cost for us, is then essentially becomes zero, and we can have infinite reach. So primarily, we will employ a sales team that targets agencies, brands, hospitality, galleries, etc., in order to sell licensed subscriptions in order for the AI database that we are building. They are both synergistic products for rapid scaling. So the sales team that we'll have a small one, of course, at first, a couple of people, but they will help sell licensed artworks in bulk. And through Folio, it'll be more select, more direct to consumer kind of artworks. So that's kind of the exhibit story. That's what we are going for. And it's a high margin, a multi-revenue model with recurring SaaS plus transactions plus data licensing. So with the SaaS subscriptions, it's a monthly thing. It's a very high margin. Transaction fees, essentially we capture 10% on all licenses. And with the data and API licensing, it's all margin right there. So the path to 100 million is a combination of these. So with B2B SaaS now, we have a clear model for this. So what we are asking or raising in this round is 5 million with in order to scale our B2B growth. And this is with a simple agreement for future equity with a token option. It's essentially for 18 months. And our target here is 10,000 artists via institutions primarily, 50 paying artistic customers, and 1 million of annual recurring revenue. So that's essentially the target and the ask. And the funds are primarily for setting up the AI infrastructure that you just witnessed, operations, of course, gallery and museum onboarding. That's the way we are going to get a lot of the artists scaled up. And of course, the customers come with the sales and marketing. So that's really the plan, and really, really excited. And already have started fundraising and have started pitching. And I had a very interesting conference last weekend where I did the first pitch of Xibit to an audience of an AI community here. So that was the second Global AI Pitch Summit at Silicon Valley here. So I did a pitch there. So basically, in order to raise this capital, it's not rocket science. We have to go through a process. The plan is to do an outreach to about 250 warm leads. This could be family offices, angel investors, and institutional investors, but probably not very large institutional investors, of which we'll get about 125 replies, which will result in about 75 video calls, which will result in about 35 engagements. And from that will result in about 50 investments. So that's basically the pipeline that we have to go through in order to raise capital. And we'll also be doing networking and events in order to get there. So that's the plan for capital and for raising for fundraising. All right, so let's go on now to some of the other things. All right, let's do some housekeeping first. So I'm pleased to announce that the booster perks claims are launched in Scope. So let's go and see that. So if you go to Scope and go to staking, you will see booster perks, and you'll be able to, if you have perks available to you, they'll show up here, and you'll be able to hit claim. Now they are auto staked into 4 parts, 25% each. 1 year 25%, second year 25%, third year 25%, and fourth year 25%. So this is I'm very excited to have this ready and going. All right, a couple of things. We want to focus on the AI pieces here, and primarily on making sure that we can attract developers and we can get Xibit going. And so we're going to backburner a few things here: Verse, AI Wars, and really anything else not mentioned. So with the absence of the governance team, we have to have a new governance team. So I'm working on that. I'm recruiting a few people. So we'll have a small governance team in place. I'll have my proposal to the community on how we are going to do this by December 1, and we'll try and be active by December 15th. But we have tried different models. We've tried a DAO model previously, etc., and it really hasn't worked. Honestly, the blockchain doesn't need much governance. What we need is capital, and and we need more projects and more active projects. So once that happens, then we can talk about other governance. So that's basically the plan. So by December 1, you'll have my proposal for the governance team, and then by December 15, hopefully we can have it in place. All right, let's continue here, and let's talk about 2025 funding. So as many of you might know, it's been really tough this year because we've essentially had no incoming revenue. So this year has been a combination of using my credit cards, using liquidity that we had in different exchanges and contracts, and all my savings really. So we've reached a point now where it's really difficult for me to keep paying for our infrastructure costs and our monthly development costs. And also note that I'm not taking any salary. I haven't taken a salary in almost a year and a half now. So we need to come up with a better plan for continuing funding. So this is my proposal. I'd like to propose interim funding for the rest of the year. And for that, we will. I'd like to propose selling some of the Vitru we have. So that's 0.72 million from the treasury and 2.28 million from the perks pool. That's 3 million Vitru, and we would price that at a 40% discount from market. And anyone buying that would be in support of the project, would know that it would be auto staked for 3 years. So you would not get that Vitru it would be auto staked. I've talked to a few of you, and you are. I'm very excited that some of you have agreed to support the project in this way, and the page will be up soon. And I thank you. I thank you for your willingness to support, because it's been really difficult. The whole I also have a family. I have expenses, and not having any income while paying out regularly every month uh, is difficult. We've cut costs quite a bit now with Amazon in particular, which has been some of our largest costs. But even then, it's still there, and we still have to pay for it to keep the lights on. So need to make sure that we are funded for the rest of the year and moving forward. So as more projects get traction, I'm sure we'll be able to get some funds from that to keep things going. So the funds here will pay for the following. They'll pay for areas. So in addition to me, I know a number of people in the community who are making huge sacrifices without pay. They are working, and they are doing it because they support the project, and I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful to you. My Almost on a daily basis, it's negotiating, figuring out who to pay, who not to pay, where to get the funds for this, how much to pay, and negotiating different things. And I'm grateful for the folks who are flexible and help us out. So we want to take care of you. We want to pay AWS and the cloud services that we need, including this StreamYard service, then Block Scout. So our Explorer runs on in the cloud. So it's a small cost, but it is a cost. So what we want to do is, until the governing council is in place, which will have a multi-sig, we'll have a trustee from the community, and you guys can vote whoever it is, and they will be responsible for owning that wallet and dispersing the funds. We have a balance of 6 million perks and tokens, and we've tossed around the issue of perks for too long, folks. We are not in a position where we can do anything with them, especially not release them. And the only prudent thing we can do is lock them up right now, because the market cannot bear 6 million Vitru just coming into the free market at once. So we are just going to essentially stake them at 0% APR for 5 years. So with this low burn rate, future funding can be covered by projects and strategic, very limited treasury cells. I am very confident we can do that, and that takes care of it. We don't need a lot of capital moving forward, because we are moving the costs up the stack and to the application layer. And so we should, with the AWS costs in particular that have been cut significantly, we should be able to manage effectively moving forward. So that's the plan for 2025 funding for what remains for the remaining part of the year. All right. So now I'm very pleased to announce a new service that we are launching, the Vitruveo Name Service. But first, a sip of chai. Now, the Vitruveo Name Service will use names instead of addresses. You're familiar with this in terms of ENS. So the initial option that we are going to use is for @name. So you can say things like @nick or whatever you end up registering. In the near future, when we can afford it, we will have a top-level domain. And at that point, those names will also be usable with that top-level domain. Now, the wallets like MetaMask, Trust, etc., they choose to support certain chains and the ENS on those chains. So they're selective about that, and not ENS can be deployed on any chain, but it doesn't necessarily work with the wallets. So this will not work with wallets until they add that support. So it will work with ecosystem apps that add the support. So we'll make sure that all the apps that we are building will support them. So you'll be able to use them in our apps. But the main use case for this, the main use case is AI. So if you want to be able to say, look up the balance for at underscore 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 treasury. If you see those three underscores, that's a contract. So that's a reserved notation for contracts. So you can't reserve a name with three underscores that are leading. So anytime you see that, you know that that's a contract. You'll soon be able to write, as I said, you can say send 10 Vitru to at Alice, and you'll be able to do that very, very easily. Now, the pricing here is based on length of the name and the duration in years. It's all in Vitru. So the first year cost is, for 6 or more letters, is 250 Vitru. For 5 letters, it's double that, 500 Vitru. For 4 letters, it's double that, 1,000 Vitru. And for 3 letters, it's double that, it's 2,000 Vitru. And so that's the price for the first year. For each subsequent year, it's discounted 20%. Now, whenever the payment comes in, 2% is immediately paid directly to Vibe. So if you are a Vibe holder, you will benefit from VNS here. The VNS contracts are already live, and this service will be launching in scope by Sunday. So it's just the UI that needs to be tested and finalized. And I'm very excited to be able to bring this service to you. So I think that's it. Yes, that is it. Thank you everyone for this spotlight. I'll take a few questions now, and we'll go through that. Let's see. I'm not seeing. All right. All right. I don't see too many questions about the roadmap here. All right. Okay. So I think we'll end it right there. Then I don't see too many questions here. Okay. All right. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time, and have a great weekend. Bye bye.